Hello, this is Mark. I'm going to outline a few key concepts relating to hormone optimization. I'm also going to show the steps that I utilized to nearly quintuple my levels. It all started when I was 18 years old. I experienced low testosterone at the time after experiencing bouts of persistent anxiety that lasted 2 years. Eventually the problems escalated and I had negative symptoms such as apathy, reduced confidence, diminished energy level. I became more susceptible to the cold. I secluded myself from society. And I also became an emotional wreck where I lashed out at people and I couldn't contain my emotions very well. Eventually I realized the gravity of this situation. I decided to go through the doctor to get my levels tested. The reference range that they utilized at the time was 250 to 950 nanograms per deciliter. When I got finally tested, it came back at 221 nanograms per deciliter, which is slightly below the reference range. But I wasn't surprised because all my symptoms matched those associated with low testosterone. Eventually I decided to take the natural route, so I studied extensively for 2-3 years and tried to get my body back to natural health. After 5 years or so, I decided to get my levels tested again. It came back at 938 nanograms per deciliter, which is shown above. Those are my total testosterone levels. However, everyone will experience a different level that is required for the functionality of their body. What is also very important is free testosterone, which is the unbound portion that is utilized for the physiological effect. My levels came back at the upper 2/3 of the scale, which is definitely an improvement from my previous baseline level. Okay, so the first key tip that I'd recommend for optimizing testosterone production is to eliminate stressors. The demands of society has greatly increased throughout the years due to increased population growth, and increased responsibility load. Also, the number of external factors that can internally contribute to stress has increased, such as excessive food, drugs, alcohol, supplements, and stimulants. So it's good to be cognizant and aware of what we put into our body and try to moderate everything. Otherwise, the excess of these products will dampen the body, the functionality of the body. It will be a hindrance to the organ system and cause an overall burden. Also, it will lead to inflammation, which can upregulate cortisol production, which is a stress hormone that is needed in moderation for the glucogenesis cycle. However, once the cortisol increases in excess due to inflammation or any stress response, it can degrade the overall integrity of the body. It can decrease testosterone production because there's an indirect relationship between cortisol and testosterone production. And anytime it's in excess, it actually degrades the muscle tissue and it acts as a catabolic hormone. Another method to minimize stress is to increase the resistance to it. The best method I've known to do that is to consume adaptogens such as ashwagandha or Indian ginseng. Ashwagandha has been extensively studied in the literature for its ability to balance the body, the organ system, and it helps nourish the adrenal glands and also the thyroid gland, and it has been proven to increase testosterone production. If you want any more information regarding or pertaining to ashwagandha, please view the description link below. And now I'm going to cover the second tip that I'd recommend. Another tip that I recommend to optimize testosterone production is to reduce the viscosity of the blood. Blood circulation is an extremely crucial component for testosterone production and health in general, as it allows the brain to receive enough oxygen to support their overall organ system. It also allows the body to work more efficiently by getting rid of inflammation and toxins that flow throughout the body. A few supplements I recommend to optimize circulation is one of which is pomegranate concentrate. Pomegranate is known to reduce plaque throughout the bloodstream and has a very beneficial effect on the heart. This will allow nutrients to flux throughout the body more efficiently, and this will reduce the recovery time. Another supplement I recommend is L-citrulline. L-citrulline is a precursor to arginine, which is an amino acid, and it is processed in the kidneys. What L-citrulline does is it allows sustained release of nitric oxide, which increases the rate of blood flow throughout the body, and that will definitely also greatly reduce recovery time, and the body, if it heals more efficiently, then testosterone production will indirectly be increased. Another thing to consider is the antioxidants in your diet. Antioxidants will help get rid of inflammation And anytime you have inflammatory markers throughout the body, it causes damage to the outer lining of the blood vessels. And anytime you have damage to the outer lining, the cells eventually grow inwardly, and that reduces the circumference of the bloodstream, which will constrict the arteries and reduce overall circulation. So it's definitely important to include antioxidants in the body and a broad range of antioxidants. And then lastly, it's always good to exercise, whether it's cardio or resistant training. That will definitely have a beneficial effect on the cardiovascular system. And now I'm going to explain the next tip to optimize testosterone. Okay, so the next tip that I recommend to optimize hormone production is to increase the digestion of fats. To do that, it's very important to decrease the viscosity of bile. Bile is a component of the gallbladder that is secreted to emulsify or break down fats into smaller components, and then the fats are then processed by the liver. So there's a huge interplay between the gallbladder and liver, and how if the gallbladder loses its function, then the liver is going to be compromised. However, bile is initially produced in the liver. The outer lining, or the outer cells that line the liver, secrete bile salts that then get converted to bile acid, and then it's produced in the gallbladder from there to be secreted in the intestinal tract. The reason I am suggesting bile, or the focus on bile, is because in order to increase testosterone or optimize it, you need to be able to break down fats, which are the building blocks of testosterone. If you're not able to process the fats efficiently, then the body, the fatty molecules will be larger, and it will hamper the liver, and it will cause inflammation, and then that can lead to your brain, or toxic effect on your brain, because all the toxins will be recirculated throughout the bloodstream. So it's very important to minimize the stress and the strain on the body by optimizing the key components that are utilized to digest fats and other, even carbohydrates and proteins. So it's very important to focus on the overall organ system. But one supplement that I recommend to reduce the viscosity of the bile is taurine. Taurine is naturally produced in the body, but it has been proven to lower the viscosity of the blood, and it's actually a component of ox bile. And then that's the supplement that you could also take to directly increase bile output. But taurine will do it indirectly, and it definitely will help you optimize the digestion of fats, which will support optimal testosterone production. Okay, so the next tip that I recommend for optimizing testosterone production is to stay positive, be mindful, and to follow the natural cycles or laws of nature. What I mean by the last point is there's natural cycles such as the diurnal cycle, the blood sugar cycle, even the hormone cycle, and the digestive cycle. There's so many cycles that are created naturally and are produced naturally, and if you are attuned to it, for instance, not eating when your digestive system has not completed its cycle, could definitely hamper, degrade the body over time. So it's important to be aware and always be in tune with your body. So you want to eat when you're hungry, because your body recharges, whether it's bile, whether it's all the digestive juices, whether it's hydrochloric acid in the stomach to break down proteins. It takes time, and your body has to go through the resting period or the recharge period. And if you continually eat within at a much higher frequency, that's going to cause a burden to your body. So therefore, you should always, follow these natural cycles and just be attuned with it. And then it's always good to be, stay positive, have a positive attitude in life, be optimistic, because your mind and your body are strongly connected, and there's huge interplay. Every effect that you have mentally will translate to the physical. So if you're negative or pessimistic, it's going to translate internally, and you're going to have a negative reaction. So therefore, it's always good to be mindful and just aware and cognizant of these cycles. And additionally, it's very beneficial to get enough sunlight throughout the year. Sunlight is very important to help the body produce or manufacture vitamin D, and vitamin D is a very important aspect of testosterone. It helps with its production. It's been proven in studies. It also assists bone density, And also to facilitate the conversion of vitamin D to its active form, you can supplement with magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate. The different magnesium products usually add an additional molecule depending on where they want the magnesium to be transported. But yeah, it's always important to get the sunlight just because it's nature, or everything in nature, it's relying on sunlight and for growing and nourishment and healing. And it's always good to, as long as you maintain moderation, it will definitely facilitate the healing process and support optimum health. Another tip that I recommend for hormone optimization is to support liver health and detoxification. The liver is an extremely crucial organ to support hormone balance, the filtration of toxins throughout the bloodstream, which gets circulated eventually to the brain. So the brain is extremely reliant on the liver to help prevent toxicity, and then if there is toxicity, it can cause degradation of the overall body or organ system. So yeah, the liver, you definitely need a balance. You don't want to over consume calories or food in general. Everything is going to get processed by the liver, and so it's important to reduce the demands of the body to consume antioxidants, from garlic or any blueberries or any food that has a high antioxidant concentration can support liver health and healing. Also, it's very beneficial to fast occasionally. It gives your body entire body rest to heal itself and to regenerate. And in the liver, it's no exception. It needs the rest from all the digestive burden. Another supplement that you can consume to support liver detoxification and health is L-choline, which can also be attained through egg yolks. L-choline is very important to help the liver break down fats or fatty acids and metabolize estrogen and get the testosterone estrogen ratio higher. And it's also very important for brain health because it gets converted to acetylcholine, and that prevents cognitive decline over time. And as you know, the brain supports the overall organ system, so it's very important to support the longevity of the brain. Now I'm going to explain the final tip. Okay, so the last tip that I recommend for optimizing testosterone production is to focus on brief but strenuous physical activity. It's very important not to go overboard on any physical activity. Your body will eventually reach a stress response, and your cortisol will be upregulated to try to mitigate all the inflammation, and eventually your muscle tissue will break down and be converted to glucose, so your body can try to attempt to heal itself, but it's, as I told you before, cortisol will negate testosterone production. So generally they recommend to not go beyond 45 minutes. However, it depends on the person, their body, how well they have adapted to the physical activity. So it's good to progress slowly, not just jump in and do very strenuous or long duration. It's good to build that up and adapt because the body is very resilient. And also I generally recommend to do a split workout instead of doing large body groups over a large surface area of the body. For instance, doing legs, abs, and back, and all simultaneously. It's good to split between muscle groups. Usually I'll do 2 muscle groups per workout. But in this regard, it allows the body to recuperate and heal quicker and give your body a rest when you split up the body groups. It's also important to do rigorous activity to try to promote the strain on your body, which will split or break down the microfibers in your muscle tissue, and then eventually to build up muscle and allow your body to adapt to this state of physical activity will actually help amplify testosterone, because your body is becoming acclimated to a state and it adjusts to the demands. Now, if you were to seclude yourself indefinitely or just not do any activity, your body again would adapt to that, and your testosterone production would be a testament of your physical activity. So again, this is the last tip I recommend. I think it would be very beneficial. It's just my own perspective and what I've attained over the years, the knowledge I've attained. I hope this video helped and benefit any of you as an informative information. And I look forward to making additional videos relating to science, health, mental health, physical health in general. One last aspect or one last keynote that I'd recommend is to obtain enough sleep and allow your body to rest. And eventually, just by striving to get your body in a natural state and just abiding by the laws of nature will get your body in equilibrium or a state of balance. And yeah, that's all I have, and I hope it was beneficial.